Hi, welcome back to our podcast, Books Don't Review Themselves. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kim.
And today we are doing something a little bit different. Kim always makes comments and noises and grunts and sighs about the fact that I apparently don't watch anything good or of value. So we decided to do kind of a little series just for fun where she picks a movie that I need to watch. And it can be any genre, it can be anything. So she took to Netflix and she told me to watch Heathers.
1989, classic, dark comedy with Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. And Shannon Doherty is also in it.
Mm-hmm.
Other people I'm sure I recognize, but I cannot tell you their names.
Mm-hmm.
One that I probably watched about 15 times.
This is based off of, I think this is Wikipedia. So I don't know how true it is, but it says the box office, they made $1.1 million, which is the equivalent to $2.2 million today. And I don't know, do we need to get into a synopsis of it?
I don't think so. If you people haven't watched it yet, what is wrong with you? Just go watch
I'm
it.
going to do a synopsis for the younger
my
crowd.
God.
It's short. So, Veronica is part of the most popular clique at her high school, but she disapproves of the other girls' cruel behavior. When Veronica and her new boyfriend, JD, confront clique leader Heather Chandler and accidentally poison her, they make it appear a suicide. Soon, Veronica realizes that JD is intentionally killing students he does not like. She races to stop JD while also clashing with the clique's new leader, Heather Duke. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So you got 3 Heathers and you got a Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 Heathers in our school. Actually, there's more than 2, but 2 of them were in the popular group, along with Amy and, God, I can't think of anyone else's name. That was years ago. So we had our own little Heathers group at our school, so that was fun. In 1989, I would have been in 8th grade, I believe. So for me to watch this show before I'd entered high school, it was a revelation. It stuck with me a lot because these Heathers and Veronica were in high school and I was soon to be the next year. So yeah, I think that's why it stuck with me so much, because I saw a lot of myself in Veronica, and that's why it means so much to me.
So it was funny because my husband watched it with me.
Had he ever seen it before?
No.
Oh my God, Josh, what is wrong with you?
And it was really funny because there were a couple times where it's like his jaw dropped and he looked at me and he's like, did they just say that? Or like there were a couple times where I was like, did he just say this? Like the one time was something about like he wants someone to ride his dick and spin her like a pinwheel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Or fuck me hard with a chainsaw. I'm like,
just texted me this the next day, and I didn't know she had watched Heathers the night before, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Which is funny because you always hear people like fuck me hard or like fuck me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't. I've never heard anyone say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my God. And then it was funny because my coworker, who is the same age as Kim, I asked her, I'm like, have you seen Heathers? Like, I've never heard of this. And she's like, only like 2,000 times. She's like, I had it on VHS, DVD, and I had to buy it in Blu-ray.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, what's your deal, Heather? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I used to say shit like that all the time. And I just Googled some quotes that I found pretty funny. Kurt's dad, like, says, my son's a homosexual and I love him. I love my dead gay son.
After he said that in the movie, I yelled that out loud because it always makes me laugh.
Yeah. This one is, I prayed for the death of Heather Chandler many times and I felt bad every time I did it, but I kept doing it anyway. Now I know you understood everything. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah.
Shannon Doherty said that at the gravesite.
Veronica said, if you were happy every day of your life, you wouldn't be a human being. You'd be a game show host, which I thought was kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Veronica Sawyer, how very.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. And those shoulder pads on all their outfits, all their blazers that they wore all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Some of this fashion, I was like, or I can't remember. It was the first Heather, blonde Heather. Okay.
Chandler?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, nice brooch, Heather. this isn't just a spoke in my menstrual cycle.
Oh, when she's writing in her diary.
Yep.
So obviously I've seen this movie a few times if I know the parts you're talking about.
She's my best friend. God, I hate her. Everyone has that.
Has had that moment.
Oh, there's a part where they're in the bathroom and it's like, grow up, Heather. Bulimia is so 87. I'm like, what the fuck?
The 80s were a nasty time. I mean, it was raunchy, and I'm not saying political correctness, all of it should happen, but the 80s could have used a little political correctness.
Yeah, what's your damage, Heather?
Mm-hmm. What's funny, I have a little story with that. So like I said, I would have been 8th grade. In high school, so this would have been, I think I must have been a junior. So this would have been 3 years after the movie came out. I was on the high school newspaper, and we were doing, you know how they had the weekly question? Mm-hmm. We were doing something similar to that. And I pulled that question from Heather's, which is basically, you win $5 million, aliens are going to take over the day or the world in like 2 days or something. What do you do with your money? So I was going around asking various people this question, and I asked, I can't think of his name, but he was in a grade or two younger than us, and he flipped out on me. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? You know, this is just a question.
Flipped out how?
He's like, why are you asking me that question? He's like, that's rude, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So I'm like, well, sorry. I'm like, you don't need to answer it. And I just went on to someone else. And I was telling one of my friends later that this had happened. And he's like, you know who his sister is, right? And I'm like, no, I don't know his sister. So he had a different last name, and his sister was Amy Thorne, so half-sister or stepsister or something. I don't know what. I don't know their family dynamic. But their family, either the mom or dad, had won like $11 million. And I didn't know this because I was in high school, and you're in high school, you pay attention to yourself and maybe your group of friends, and at least I did. I wasn't paying attention to other people. So he thought I was like attacking him personally because his family had won a lot of money. And I'm just like, I didn't know that. And yeah, so I mean, that always just sticks out to me always. Mm-hmm. And it's just funny because it goes along with Heather's. So whoever you were, don't remember your name, probably never watched this, but if you ever do, sorry.
I didn't know. Yeah.
I did not know. So yeah. So what did you think of it besides all the quotes? What did you think?
I liked it.
Liked it with a question mark afterwards? You don't have to say you liked it.
It's hard to say because it's
so
just
dated.
It's not something I'm used to. So it's like I enjoyed it. Like I didn't watch to really get bored. Mm-hmm. But is it something that like would be a cult favorite for me that I would rewatch? Probably not.
No.
But it was good, and like I did find myself like, especially with my one coworker who I know really liked it, I would be like, "What's your damage?" You know, and I'm sure I'm gonna be quoting some of the stuff, which is funny. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't a bad movie. I was really surprised. I didn't think things would be so. I don't want to say graphic because they weren't awfully graphic, but
they were.
Well.
I mean, like verbally, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect.
Remember the part where they're having sex? They just went cow tipping, and then Veronica's like walking away, not having sex with the dude, and he just like falls over in a pile of cow shit. But then if you watch in the background, the other Heather, and I don't know which one it was, one of the football players having sex, it looks like he is raping her, you know. And I'm just like, and then earlier on, Veronica and the first Heather that gets killed. They go to a college party, and basically Heather gives the guy a blowjob just because that's what's expected of her.
Right.
And Veronica doesn't put out, so she's a horrible person for not putting out. And I mean, watching these things now
as an adult,
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, these are horrible things. And
did you even consider these things?
I never even thought of it. And in fact, part of me was probably like, oh, I need to start giving guys blowjobs, you know, to be accepted, which is insane and crazy and horrible. And like, if I had a child, so you're my child now, I would want to watch it with them. like for various reasons, because it's a cult classic to me. But I would also be like, do not follow anything in this movie.
Like, do not think this is acceptable.
No, because dear God, it's not.
Right.
So yeah, but I mean, just seeing them like he was literally raping her. If you watch that scene, I'm just like, oh my God. And then even Christian Slater later on, JD, when Veronica tells him that she's through with him, he's like physically abusive to her, you know, and trying to like kiss her, and she does not want to be kissed. Manipulative. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I laughed when she shot his finger off. I thought that was funny. And just some of the like gore that was in here was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. And his relationship with his father.
It was fucking weird.
It was beyond weird. Yeah. I mean.
Son and.
Just watching it now. I mean, I still enjoyed it. And I mean, I will watch it again in the future. But just being older now and seeing, I'm like, oh my God. No wonder I turned up a little fucked out later on in my life.
Yeah. And I guess I didn't really take it as the guy and girl. Like, I didn't take it as the guy raping her. It looked bad, but I didn't take it as that.
That's what it looked like to me. I mean, it was drunken sex, so drunken sex can be uncoordinated, but they both weren't drunk. Only he was drunk. She was on the bottom, and it just looked like he was pinning her down, and it just did not look good.
No, it didn't look good.
And then the thing, too, when they're going cow tipping, Veronica's like, they're not going to get super drunk and we're going to go cow tipping again. And the other Heather's like, no, that won't happen. So cut to scene. That's what's happening. And like Veronica's just like rolling her eyes standing there. And they're both just like accepting it. Like, this is how it is. And I'm like, that's what I did too in high school. But now I'm like, it makes me angry that I did that, you know? And I want to say to girls and boys out there, no, you don't need to accept it. No, it does not need to be that way. And God.
Yeah.
But I still really like the show.
Yeah. So, do you have the next movie picked out yet?
I don't, because I don't want you to have to buy it, you know, or anything. So, and you just have Netflix. So maybe it might be Candyman. That's the only one I found. But I'll look some more and see if I can find another one.
We'll rent whatever, we don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
because you have to see Clue. It used to be on, I thought it was on Netflix, but maybe they've taken off because it's a new month. Yeah. That's one that you must see.
Yeah.
And you must love and say you love even if you don't.
Yeah, I know there's just a ton. And it's funny because one of my favorite movies is The Great Outdoors.
Oh, that's a good one.
With Dan Aykroyd and John Candy.
Candy, yeah.
I like John Candy. So I like The Great Outdoors. And obviously like Chris, like I love like Tommy Boy and those classics with Chris Farley. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of that like Family Vacations, those ones. What's the one where John Candy was like the uncle? Uncle Buck. Love that one. So some of those, like, you know, I've seen, but I know there's other cult classics. You will see more. People always get upset that I've never seen like Dirty Dancing.
What? My God.
Dirty Dancing, Footloose. Terminator, Terminators, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. Terminator, and then I know you've seen it. It was something with Neo.
Oh, Matrix.
Yes.
Okay.
Matrix. Yeah. Never seen that.
Oh my God. Where have you been? Oh my God. I can't believe Dirty Dancing. I mean, Dirty Dancing, that was like a sleepover. You had to watch it like every sleepover. It was required.
See, and it's funny because at a lot of the sleepover type movies I remember was like some Nicholas Sparks stuff.
Did you ever see Beaches with Bette Midler? She has cancer.
Don't think so.
Oh dear God.
But I remember a lot of like The Ring.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Where's My Car? Like
Dude.
Yeah. All the scary movies. Like that was kind of what I remember a lot of.
Those were good.
Well, and The Ring creeped me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers.
It's the whole jerky motion. I hate that. I like Jeepers Creepers.
Creep me out. See, and I I was always the type of person that was like, yeah, I love scary movies.
And you're pissing in your pants while you're watching it?
Not while I'm watching it, but when I go home and it's like, okay, I'm by myself, it's dark. And
someone's going to kill me.
Yes, that's when I would think of it.
So Candyman is going to be the next movie you watch then. That will be your next one. It's on Netflix.
Can't wait.
You can watch it with Josh. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And then, before we begin our broadcast, we're going to go in the bathroom and say Candyman 5 times.
Isn't there something else where you say like Hail Mary?
Bloody Mary?
Yeah.
Bloody Mary. We did that once at a sleepover. Well, we did it numerous times at sleepovers, but one time we did it with Jenny, I think Gail, Yolanda, and yeah, we freaked ourselves out. I swear to God, we saw something in that mirror. That was fun times.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Candyman.
So I guess Candyman will be the next movie I watch.
And I think they're remaking that, I heard, which it'll never be as good. I don't mind remakes. I watch a lot of remakes, but there's something about the Candyman, his voice and demeanor, and dear God, that man is awesome. So yeah, Candyman, yay!
Yeah. So I guess stay tuned for that next episode. Like, subscribe. If you have suggestions, we are open to suggestions of cult classic movies that I need to see. Mm-hmm. I guess for reference, I was born in 91, so
80s are good.
Yeah, 80s are probably going to be the most popular. And probably even some 90s, because it wasn't like I was old, in the 90s. But so, yeah. But otherwise, like, subscribe, come back for more, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.